Did you know the secret to effective exposure management is only two things? Sounds simple. Patch the right things and patch them fast. But how do you know if you're doing that effectively? The first step is measure your progress. Start tracking how you're doing today, and then you can see where improvements are needed and begin conversations about how to get better. Now, one question I get all the time is, where do I even start? Here's the good news. There are 3 golden metrics that will guide you. And here they are. Vulnerability age versus SLA, service level agreement. This is how long vulnerabilities have been open compared to your targets. Second one, mean time to remediate. This is just how quickly you're fixing vulnerabilities. And then third, the percentage of the vulnerabilities remediated. This measures how much of the overall scope of your efforts you've already fixed. Now, when these 3 metrics are consistently green, you're hitting your numbers, you have a strong, functioning exposure management program. Now, even if you're only hitting 2 of the 3 right now, you're making real progress. Keep doing what you're doing, and the third one is going to follow. But here's the challenge. When everything feels like an emergency, nothing's actually an emergency. And that's where SLAs come in. You can't fix everything at once. But with SLAs, you can set realistic timelines and you can prioritize what matters the most. And by focusing on high-impact vulnerabilities, you ensure that your team is addressing the most critical issues first. Exposure management is more than just identifying vulnerabilities. It's creating structured workflows to prioritize and remediate what matters most. This approach helps you to avoid being overwhelmed by that sheer volume of vulnerabilities, and that allows your team to make meaningful progress. So why does this matter so much? SLAs help to prevent what psychologists call learned helplessness. That's where the sheer number of vulnerabilities paralyzes teams and makes progress feel impossible. And when it feels impossible, it is impossible. Exposure management solves this by creating structured workflows that focus on the most critical issues. By addressing the high-risk vulnerabilities first, your team can achieve more without feeling like it's an endless struggle. And here's the payoff. When exposure management is done right, security incidents become less severe. The very best thing you can do for your incident response program is to strengthen your exposure management program. Fix the vulnerabilities that matter the most. Proactively addressing vulnerabilities reduces the impact of future threats. So then your incident response team has less work to do. And there's one last thing to remember. Unreasonable expectations can sink even the best exposure management efforts. That's why we call it exposure management, not exposure perfection. You can't fix everything perfectly, but you can take meaningful steps forward. And by prioritizing your efforts based on risk, you're putting your team in the best position to succeed.